Welcome to another episode of Friends of Build Magazine. I'm here in Vegas at the IBS show with Jeff Delaney of Colby Windows. He's the president.
But here I am today, 38 years later.
Is Colby the only job you've ever had? Because you're too young to have other ones.
I thank you very much for that compliment. But no, the answer is no. I actually have a marketing degree, and early in my life I would have been working in actually the hotel industry. So it's a different switch. When we grew up, my grandparents were right across the road. He was a fantastic man. He actually was a self-made kind of man where he would do woodworking, and I learned all that kind of stuff from him. So coming to work at Colby and knowing how to work with wood and make the joints, it was second nature.
Are you the first non-family president?
I am not.
Okay.
Actually, third or technically. But so Herb and Irvin, they grew the company. They started in 1946. Herb's daughter, Judy, is actually our CEO, and I am the president.
So it's an interesting dynamic, and as I mentioned off camera, Colby's been around since the 40s, and in 1955, the Fortune 500 companies to 2015, there's only 61 that are still on that list, which is 12%. So it says a lot about your company, your culture. What makes it unique? How do you survive all those recessions, all those turnovers, all those generations? How does Colby survive?
That's a good question. The culture that the Colby family comes from, very German heritage, and that culture flows through our company itself even today. So when I started working at Colby 38 years ago, my career through Colby allowed me to work with Herb Colby pretty intensely. And often we would go out to lunches every day and we would have some sandwich. And he would tell me about how he grew up, culture that he feels, the thought that, you have to be close to your employees. And he would often be on the floor. And the magic there is, if you're going to work with your employees, they're going to recognize you as an individual, but they're going to want to work for you. And as we have worked along, and now it's passed since 2001, I believe we passed, that culture is what we carry forward. And I was lucky enough to do that. And our job now, as management staff, is to ensure that culture passes to the next generation.
So I mentioned that we had done a podcast this morning with Kohler. Same thing. The world today is better for Herb Kohler than when he came into the world. And it's the same with Colby. I mentioned also that even your competitors, when they talk about Colby, because I'm a firm believer in good competition and bad competition. Good competition drives the sport, makes the sport creative, and we can actually get together, and even though we're different companies, we can contribute to the betterment of the industry. And they always hold Colby in the highest regard, whether I'm talking to whoever it is, and your builders, because a lot of them are our clients.
I appreciate that. It's interesting, as people may walk our booth today, they'll actually see Kohler products in it. In this booth today, we tried to represent lifestyles. Representing a lifestyle in the product that we sell links those kind and levels of products together. So our windows are in the bathroom sometimes, and there's the Kohler tub. We carry that history around, and we're really proud to do it, but we also know that you can't leave yourself rest on your laurels. Colby is built around innovation, and the things that we try to bring to the show, whether they're for public opinion and to see if we should beta them, we need that public opinion, because you know what? We are not a manufacturer-driven company. We are a marketing-driven company that manufactures products for people who want high-end and good quality.
So is there a mantra or a mission or a purpose that Mr. Colby put in place 75 years ago that you still focus on with your employees on a regular basis?
Herb Colby was all about communication. People that work for him. And at that point in time, they would have called them employees.
Yeah.
Today we call them team members, because the team member makes the company. If the team member doesn't make the product correctly, end consumer has a bad experience.
Yeah.
Right? There's a couple different things to make sure that the company works. You have great team members. You communicate. You find good customers to sell the product to that align with your culture. And once that string is complete, then it affects your performance.
How many employees do you have?
We have just over 1,000 employees.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Costantino yesterday. They've gone from 25 years, 0 to 5,000 employees, and the owner, the founder over in Spain, he walks the plant every day. I'm listening to you talk about Herb Colby. Guaranteed he was walking the plant every day. I talked to another company, I'm racking my brain, and up until he died at 89, and he would be on the floor of the plant every day because they're intensely ingrained in their people.
You know, it's funny that you say that because as I walk the floor myself, if I don't make it to one area in a plant in a week, the team members on the floor will say, Jeff, haven't seen you in a week. What's the matter? You on vacation? You can give it back and forth to these people because they really enjoy what they're doing. When we have architects come on tours, for example, the courtesy of the team member to go and turn the radio down so as they talk about the product, they can hear it, that's dedication.
So before we get into a couple of cool products that you're sharing with me, one thing I'm a firm believer is culture is everything. And products are products, and these are great, and you're great, and all this stuff, right? And I don't mean Colby, I just mean in general. But it's the people that make all the difference. And it's the impact that you have on those people, your 1,000 team members, the fact that you're so connected. What does it make you feel like to know that you've got 1,000 people that you're responsible, which is a big deal, but the impact that you have on their families and how they treat their families because of how they're treated at work?
You know, as you walk out on the floor, you know that you're doing something right when you have mom and dad working there, and you have maybe grandpa working there, and you have their sons or daughters working there. Somehow you have transferred that culture, and they have aligned with the culture. It's not just a place to work. It's a place to, first of all, enjoy what you do, because we really have a lot of talented people. An example, so everybody needs employees, and we create ads. We went out to the plant and we took some videos of people in the plant and said, hey, can you make some comments? One gentleman said, let me show you what I do. He works in the radius area. And he says, as this product rolls down the line, if it doesn't look right, the buck stops here. And that's the words he used.
Oh, I love that.
Dedication.
So it doesn't go to the president, it goes to your
Drives
employees.
down from the president.
They feel like they're the president of their section.
And the fact that no one coached the person to do it is all the better, right? Because that's how they feel in their heart.
You know, when you have a bad day at the office, you go home, you take it out on your spouse, you take it out on your kids. That's what I was referring to when you work for a company where the culture is so good that there is no such thing as a bad day at the office. Or your frustrations are all quantified so that it doesn't affect negatively your family. And I just think more corporations like you would make for a better country.
It's not an easy job. I mean, you have to work at this stuff. If you think you're just going to sit in the office and that's going to flow out, you're 100% wrong. If you're not out there talking to your people, communication, we get out there and we do videos, and we have TV screens that they present the videos on. And yeah, you have to get and talk to them. You have to tell them what's happening, right?
Yeah.
They want to know. They want to know how far they're out. They want to know what the market's doing.
Well, from your standpoint, they have to show that the box actually cares. Are they in an ivory tower and they never see us, or do they actually care? Anyway, let's go take a look at some of the cool things.
Dutch store products have, in history, been extremely popular. If you go back and look at old woodworking magazines or old woodworking catalogs, you would always see Dutch stores.
Yeah.
And for a while, they fell out of favor.
Why? They're so functional.
I hear you, and I don't understand it. You know, when the top, the bottom is closed, the kids aren't running outside, right? But the top is open. Now I get some instant ventilation, right? It's a multifunctional kind of product. This item is coming back to the market.
So do you see this in high-end homes?
Oh yes, the unique item for someone, whether it's an architect and a homeowner, to make their home different.
There was some unique feature about this door.
In today's market, where people don't have all the time in the world to worry about how their windows and doors, we know that there's different ways to tell whether your products are open or closed. There's a lot of electronics that will do that. The problem with that is there's no end solution to it. If my My electronic device says my window is open. Now I need to run home and close it. Colby has worked with other organizations, suppliers, to say, let's create a product where it can both unlock the window and open the window to whatever degree I want it to be, automatically or not. But also, if it starts to rain, it'll close itself too. So
This is so cool.
I'm going to go up to the cabin, let's say, and before I get there, and so I'll take out my phone and I'll activate the window to open. Maybe I only want to open 2 inches. That's what it'll be. Maybe I want to open it full. Go ahead. And it'll happen.
This is so cool. Who in the world would think of this? Like, in your R&D department, obviously.
We have suppliers. In this instance, we worked with a company called Cube, QUB, who has this technology for the motors and the electronics, and we blended the window with that technology, and it is still outstanding.
That's unbelievable. And obviously, there's the QEB guy right there. Dude, you crushed it on that window.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
I can't believe it.
So in this instance, we're just saying, how far would you like to open it? Well, let's just slide this thing and open it 27%. And that's what it's going to end up doing. It will unlock itself and it will open 27% of the way. And so when I want to change it, I'll just slide it back. I may have it preset to say, hey, 5%, 4%, 50%, and I can just press that button. I can link these windows in series so I can have a bank of them done. It's definitely a game changer for me.
And what kind of response are you getting from people?
Absolutely fantastic.
They're blown away, right?
They are. They just haven't seen it.
How do you come up with this idea?
Well, our 2 founders are window industry guys. They've been around forever. And they saw that there was an opportunity where most automated operators either have visible hardware, or maybe they're just opening the sash and closing the sash, or, you have to have a pad on the wall or a remote control. You have to be there. So they wanted to develop a solution that would allow you to be more of a smart product. Somewhere that you can operate your windows remotely, check your bedroom windows when you're not home to make sure they're locked. If you're driving to your vacation home, air it out before you get there, whatever it might be. So anywhere you've got Wi-Fi access, you can check your windows, operate your
Will they bring the dog back in the house?
That part,
You haven't worked out.
that's on the roadmap.
It's a wish list item.
That's exactly right. But for safety features, we've got a rain sensor on here. So if you're at the grocery store, it rains, it'll close and lock the window for you. It's low voltage, so it's really easy for the electrician to install power to the window. Our system will detect if you lose power to the home. And with the battery backup, it'll close and lock the window for you as a safety feature. Same thing if you lose your Wi-Fi, it'll close and lock the window for you. But in that case, you just go to the tablet, change over to Bluetooth mode, as long as you're local, Bluetooth mode, operate your windows on Bluetooth until you get your Wi-Fi back.
Okay, how many times did it have to break? Because technology's always breaking.
You don't want to ask that question? We don't quantify that one.
I mean, Thomas Edison went
Yeah.
through 10,000 light bulbs before it actually worked.
Right. Well, it's been a process. It's not easy. It's hard, and we've been through a lot of iterations to get it here.
Okay, so coming along that point is, how do you deal with the frustration when you've got new technology? Because it's not going to be perfect for a while. How do you just roll with it and understand it's part of the process to get the end product like
So
this?
we're showing this here today. First, you want to see, does the market or would the market accept this kind of a product?
Which I got to say, brilliantly, yes.
Yes. Okay. Next thing you want to do is you want to roll it out, but you want to make sure that you beta it, right? So let's get it in a few homes first. Let's make sure it's working. We have all the instructions set. You may have to set up special training courses for the contractor. Say, I want you to install this one really plumb and square, because if you don't and it starts to rub, it could put stress on that motor. So it is going to be a complete process to get this out in the market. It's something that you just can't dump out, right?
Okay, so I was in Hawaii last week and I was doing some videos, and salt water is the bane of everybody's existence, right? So how do you deal with stuff like that so that it doesn't corrode, it doesn't fall apart?
There's only so much you can do with salt water, as you know. But we're using stainless steel to stand up in those environments. Our aluminum products, or the aluminum components, are being anodized, doing those types of things that we can give the best protection that we can. The electronic components will be conformal coated.
With those challenges, I also get super excited because everybody goes through them, and that's what tests your brain. That's why you come up with innovation.
Yep.
And I like the fact that you've got a partner
Yes.
in Jeff that understands that it's not going to be perfect, it's a process, but you know that this is a home run.
You have to bring it to the public to get validation.
Okay.
It's very important. You know, from a marketing standpoint, you would say, tell me what you want. Let me show you if this works. And the market would say, yes, I like it, right?
All right, let's go over. Did you invent this other one too?
No, this is my net right here.
Hey, thanks for actually being here. That was awesome.
Appreciate
and congrats on that.
Thank you very much. And I want to say we really appreciate the partnership with Colby. Jeff and the Colby people have just been wonderful working through this. You've already indicated, some of the challenges that come in a development environment. They've been great. We appreciate it.
So part of the video podcast that we're doing today is targeting our clients are high-end builders, architects. That's all our partners. And innovation like this, because they all go through it. We all go through it. My team, they go, we got to get this magazine depressed. We got to do this. We got to do that. And it's like, no, we're going to be 2 weeks late because you don't want it installed in your house broken.
Yep.
I know it's a hassle and a pain, Jeff. I know it makes you look bad with your client, but it would look way worse if we didn't get this thing right. So now they're irritated for the next 10 years with something that isn't functioning properly. So what you go through, well, some people will panic. It's a normal course of, it's tough to be creative.